Hey, this is Time Bomb, and if it's your first time checking out the channel, hit that subscribe button to catch all the updates. Thanks a lot for joining me here today. I'm going to do a breakdown on the Cardinals Club Series that just went down. It was a pretty stacked Club Series, 3 really good players. We had K-Mac, Volt, T. Davis, and sorry, I don't mean to say that the fourth player wasn't good as well. He was a great player. He didn't get blown out. He came to play as well. Surgeon, the God, I believe it was the fourth player, and he was also a strong player, and it was indicative of Madden 20, I'd say, because it kind of showed exactly what's wrong with the game. Problem put out a tweet saying exactly that, and it's pretty fitting that a guy with no QB and no wide receivers won the tournament. Now, that's Volterax, of course. He's back. And if you don't remember, Volterax in Madden 17 was kind of the swerve god. And he was basically only eliminated because Problem just had the shutdown defense against the swerve and was able to beat him and take him out of the tournament because it looked like no one else really could. He was so good at doing the swerve. And this year, his approach is equally annoying. I'd say he goes with basically the most frustrating offense possible, and this year he's just all running. That's all he did. He just ran the ball every single play, either dive, basically dive, stretch, or like a power O kind of play is what he was running out of different I-form sets, a couple different I-form sets, and he was just, as it was noted, that I forget that guy's name now, Patrick, whatever the player's name was, that he was just basically taking a look at the defenders, and if he had two guys on that side and he had the blocker advantage, he would run that way, and if not, he would take it up the middle. That was as simple as that. And I don't know, that's basically the most frustrating thing, because even if you are getting the stops successfully, they'll just break one off eventually, and that's basically what it came down to. So let's break down the couple of games first. The first one was T. Davis against Surgeon, and Surgeon came out looking like he was going to be all right. He had a nice little drive, but had to settle for a field goal, and then T. Davis broke off a run and was able to score pretty quickly, and then kind of went up by about 14-3, and Surgeon was basically out of it. He got like 14-6, I think, in the end, and he just never was able to really threaten because of that. He was just behind that field goal. He just never could catch up. He was just always behind, had to settle for, I think, a couple of punts, basically, too, or turned it over, and yeah, T. Davis was able to capitalize. He's just a veteran player. He's been around for years, so he knows how to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes, and he did just that. Now, as well, Surgeon's was a little offensive heavy in the cap build, and he just had a couple of secure tacklers. So, even though I think what T. Davis was using, like the 89 Bo Jackson, whereas Volt was using like the full Bo Jackson. So, just kind of a little bit huge salary cap difference there in price for them. So, I think that's the difference between those two guys. So, another game was Volterax versus K-Mac. Now, K-Mac's been around for a couple years, doing pretty well in these club series. I think he lost to Volterax 2 years ago, and then against T. Davis. So he's never able to quite get it done. And this year he's playing against Volterax in the first round. Tough matchup, but he does a really good job limiting Volterax, keeping him only a couple scores, and I think he just scores was scoreless until the end of the second, when Volterax was able to go up 7, and then K-Mac's able to tie it up at 7 shortly after that. So then finally, right at the end of the game, Volt puts together a drive where he's able to seal the game right at the end, has to hit an ice kick, and just nails it pretty far too. I think it was like the ball was snapped from like the 33-yard line or something, so a pretty far one. I know I feel like ice kicks are easier this year than other years, but there's still some of those longer ones. I mess them up. My opponents, they always make them, but I mess them up, and Volterax shows one of his many skills right there, being able to nail that ice kick at the end for the win. Now, against T. Davis, it didn't seem like T. Davis had quite the same strong run D that K-Mac does. That's one thing. K-Mac's defense is always strong year after year. It just seems like he just makes one mistake or two mistakes. Like, I remember he was up 17-0, I think, at Volterax a couple years ago, and just was like calling me. He's like, it's over, it's done. And I was just like, don't get too cocky. And then, of course, Volterax ended up coming back in that one, but down that much to win, I think 21-17 or something like that, maybe 24-20. I can't remember what the final score ended up being, but I remember Volterax coming back, so he's such a dangerous player. So here we got Volterax against T. Davis, two former club representatives of the Cardinals. They're facing off, and T. Davis has a much more balanced team, but that's kind of at his disadvantage in this one. He does break off a couple of runs with Bo, but the big problem is that Volterax was running even better with his bow. He broke off for quite a few runs for longer ones. Now, there was one point where it was 10-6 because T. Davis had to settle for a couple field goals. He broke off the big run, made it 13-10, and then right away, Volterax just came right back and was able to break off a long run for a touchdown, and pretty much over at that point, because Volterax has the defense where he can actually really shut down his opponent in those late games. He can really, once he starts to adjust to them, he can stop them. I feel like that one long bow run was really the anomaly because he's got like 5 linebackers out there, a bunch of safeties, a couple CB. He's got everything that he can need to stop basically any type of offense and really limit them. So he does a great job at the end of the game stopping his opponent. But the truth is, it just shows what's wrong with Madden 20. You shouldn't be able to have like a minimum cap QB, no wide receivers, 2 tight ends, extra blocking at tight end, and the best running back in the game. And really, I guess I can't say be this dominant, but he walked through. That's all he had to do. He didn't really have too many. He made some big plays, has decent stick, don't get me wrong. But is that really what you want in your competitive game? Maybe you want it because people can choose to have such different styles, but the fact that that style could be the best style of the game still after they've tried to take... I feel like they made efforts to take away from teams running this type of a style, and still Volterax wins the first club series playing that way. Kind of a bummer. Congratulations to Volterax, though. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I think he's a good player, and good for him for getting the job done. Get your money. It's just a bummer that this is the state of affairs of Madden 20, but that's the Cardinals Club Series. Thanks for checking out my breakdown on it. I'm going to try to keep doing these for as many of the Club Series as I can. Hit a like on it. That helps out the channel. I've been Time Bomb. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys later. Boom, boom.